Hello and welcome. Alrighty, we're going to get started. You just take what you want and leave what you don't want, and we will have an amazing time. Alrighty, I didn't even get the cards out, guys. Okay, what's the message today? Oh, that one. Oh, the spiritual body, the master card. Connect to your true nature, your soul, your spiritual body. I love this, the gold and the purple. So let's see what it says. Okay. Oh, I like this one. Your spiritual body resides in God's embrace. It is otherwise known as your soul. And when you are conscious of your spiritual body, you know you have come home. You can still your mind and body and go home with a capital H and connect with your soul deliberately now. You can experience cellular rejuvenation and regeneration at the deepest level. Feel your spiritual body integrate with your physical body. It is a subtle yet powerful presence that provides the divine spark to every cell. This integration is vitally important for your health and well-being. If you're seeking enlightenment via the outer world, you are denying your body the full strength of the divine spark. Being ascended and out of your body doesn't serve your body, your health and well-being. Illness, disease, discomfort will become your companions if you become addicted to this quest. Practice being fully present in your body and feel the divine spark at the cellular level. So the exercise is to be aware of your spiritual body, become conscious of how you feel when you are connected with nature, and you still your mind and body, and your heart bursts with love. You focus on your breath and have the realization you are not breathing your body, but God is breathing you. It is your spiritual body that is feeling this connectivity. Wow. And as I was reading that, this gold light here reminds me of the regeneration meditation that's in my profile, in the free area. And when you cut all the cords and you go into the gold light, I'm going to recommend that you stay in there and you commune with God, divine, whatever word you want to use, and get that light to work on the cells. And I would stay there like for 20 minutes or 30 minutes if possible, so that you can really rejuvenate the divine spark in every cell in your body. And you could do that, like I recommend that people do that before they go to sleep, but you can do that any time of the day. And that's what the message that I'm getting for you today. I hope that was helpful to do the regeneration meditation every day. And that's going to actually drop you deeper into that healing space. See this color here, this gold color here? That's the frequency that you imagine when you go into the light, into the chamber. I call it the healing chamber. I've got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see, but I think that will be good. Yes, I am busy elsewhere. We do one-on-one calls. I do this. I do videos. I'm doing the recordings. We've been traveling a lot down to Brisbane to see our family and do things. Okay, Jack. It says feeling overburdened by the emotions of others. I'll read it because it flipped out. Let's have a look. Here we go. How do you know if what you are feeling is your stuff or someone else's? And this can be challenging. However, a good rule of thumb is if you have a strong reaction to a situation, that's an indication that it is your emotions that you are dealing with. If you are feeling overburdened, use your analytical mind to assess your situation to see if there is anything happening that could or would be causing this feeling. There's someone here. What happens is when spirit comes, they itch around my nose. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to review how you take responsibility for your energy and emotions. Be conscious of your thoughts and the words you speak, and protect your energy with a prayer or ritual. Through this discipline, you will create harmony and balance within your being, and you will ease the experience of being sensitive to the emotions of those around you. And I suspect that you are an empath, and that other people's emotions, whether they're your inner circle, your acquaintances, or strangers, when their emotions are strong, they just wash through you like you're the rocks in the stream, and they just go through you or over you. There is scientific proof that protecting your energy through prayer or ritual is effective. And so even with Masaru Emoto, and I spoke about this last night in the reading, Masaru Emoto, the Japanese scientist who photographed water crystals of water that was straight out of the pond, and then he got people to pray on the water, and then he took photos of the water after prayer, and the water crystals went from distorted to beautiful clear crystals. But he did another experiment which I found really interesting. In the first experiment, he had everyone stand in a circle and hold hands, so everyone was connected. And that did improve the water vibration. But then he got everyone to put their hands like this and pray individually with their own energy. I've got goosebumps all through my body. The water crystals, when people pray individually, out of this world. So you can do your research. But when I go to an event now, I don't do those circle conga where people touch each other. I just can't do that. And I think that it's important to know that as an empath particularly, that you only allow people physically into your space, A, if you want their energy, and B, if you have capacity for that. Does that make sense? My goodness. The golden light again. This is the exercise. Imagine you are standing under a golden light pouring out of a sacred shower head. This light is moving over and through you and into the grate you are standing on. You are being cleansed energetically, spiritually, and aurically, decreasing your sensitivity to others. This is what I do literally in the shower. I have the literal water coming on my head, but I have the golden light pouring through and cleansing me, and whatever is coming through goes down the plug. Now, it's interesting that we're talking about this today, because I just saw a post before I came on, and someone was saying that there are stones that you can wear that will also, like I am wearing this necklace. I have the Star of David. I have Saint Christopher. Somebody found that on the Camino in Spain. I have the evil eye from Greece, and I have Buddha, and somewhere in there I have a cross. So these were all gifts, and I love all of them, but they're all about protection. There's a stone called shungite, Shungite. I think that's how you spell it. That also is a stone of protection. So these things may be helpful for you, but the one thing that I know is I don't own anything that I'm feeling until I check in. So you could go, does this feeling even belong to me? And get your yes or your no. And if it's a no, I bless you, I release you, I return to sender. I've been teaching that for 10 years now, and it's what I do myself. Or you can go to the course on my profile, the Energy Hygiene program, and listen to all of the clearings. That's going to help if you are sensitive to others. But I think that shower of the golden light coming through is going to be helpful. And also to remember that you are an empath, and that all that you, I've just got goosebumps on my head, all that you feel and experience doesn't belong to you. Here we go. I'm using the Art of Self-Healing cards for you. That one flew out and floated down. Here we go. The prayer of protection. And I was just doing that, wasn't I, for Masaru. So this is the prayer of protection. Now, I'm not saying you have to do my prayer, and the one that I do, half of it I learned from my teacher like 1987, so nearly 40 years ago. You've been doing it daily. So it's basically saying, keep doing that. And I'm going to do another one. So let's see if there's something new that I can share with you. Okay, is there another message? Oh, wow, no way. No way, we got these cards last night in exactly the same thing, but I put cards back randomly. So have you seen this one about protecting you in the car? It's so interesting. It came up last night and now it's coming up today. So the prayer of protection, that's absolutely awesome that you're doing that. This one is on page 31. You do it in the car. This one is extra protection. So see how there's those wheels. When you get your wheel tires changed, they just take the old tire off and discard it or whatever. And when you are watching racing cars, on a corner they'll stack tires up in case a driver slides off the track and bounces in the tires. It's kind of that principle where you put in your imagination a ring of tires, old car tires, and they're all cabled together around the entire car. And then you go around, we're coming back to the gold light, and then you put gold light all the way around and seal it, and then you put the gold light on every occupant. I recommend that you do that whenever you get a funky feeling of a journey in a car, whether you're driving or they're driving, and you can do it in like a minute or two and you will feel safe. And then take a note of what happens on that journey. So I told a different story last night. I'm going to tell this story. Back when my kids were little, like they were, I don't know, 2 and 4 or 3 and 5, my friend had 2 little ones between my 2, and then she had one younger. And she loved my mum and dad. And I said, why don't we go and take the kids and we'll go for a weekend and visit my mum and dad. And I said, do you want to take my car or your car? She said, let's take my car. And I had just done like a 45-hour week My friend had a cold. She wasn't feeling very well. So I said, why don't you drive the first half and I'll drive the second half. It was a 4-hour trip. Well, we were 1 hour out and she was going really fast, but I could see that she just wasn't able to focus. And I said, do you want me to drive? And she immediately pulled over and said yes. And so I was driving and I had a really bad feeling. Like I did this technique 3 times and then I was just doing it again. And on the journey to my parents' house was a very hilly area, and we'd just come over the mountain. There was an overtaking lane. The cars in front were doing 90, which is probably about 55 miles per hour. And I said to my friend, you know what? I'm just going to stay behind the line of traffic. I feel safe here. And then we came out of the bendy part and we were on a straight stretch. And seriously, it was like something flicked past my eye and there were cars coming towards me. And I said, I didn't hit a car, did I? She said, no. I said, something flicked past my vision. So we pulled over. It was a moonless night, so it was dark as dark and we couldn't see the tires. But I felt from the gravel, like the road to the wheel hub, all tires were up. I could smell a hot smell, but I couldn't, like the engine, all the lights were working, but I could feel the car pulling to the left. So I said, okay, well, I'll just go 60 kilometers, which is about 35 miles an hour. And we limped to the next hour to my parents' place. And when we got to my dad's driveway, I heard this metallic noise and I looked down. There was no tread on the tire on the front wheel. That was the driver's side. No tread. It was like a chain mesh. But the tire was still up. And I said to my dad, because my dad really mocked my gifts and my abilities. And I said, and you say to me, I don't believe in that rubbish that you do, Julie. I said, there's the proof. I said, we drove 100 kilometers on that tire to get here. And then the next morning, he changed that tire and took it down to the tire place. And the guy at the tire place didn't believe I drove 100 kilometers on it. He said, that's not possible. And so they put the tire up on the wall in their showroom and put a sign on it to say that we drove 100 kilometers on that. And when we came home 2 days later, where we had pulled over, there was a 6-meter gully right beside the road. So we could have easily flipped off and had a very bad accident. That's why I teach this. That's just one story that I've got. But it's incredible if you don't feel safe on a journey that you do this. Does that make sense? It's really quite powerful. What is the message today? Okay. Oh, 2 cards. You got the Energy Body Master card. Oh, and you got the Heavenly card. To be sublimed in happiness. I love that card. So I'm going to do the Heavenly one for you today. Heavenly is spiritual. Here we go. Okay. To be sublimed in happiness. Every human being brought into this world has the capacity to be sublimed in happiness. Happiness is not dependent on what occurs in the outside world. You determine your happiness through your inner world. I love this message so much. You may enter the heavenly domain at any time and be happy, with a capital H, in every moment, despite what is happening in the outer world. It's your choice every time. And sometimes you may not like your choices, but you still have choice. And others can take your possessions, your family and friends, your livelihood, but they can only take your soul with your permission. And that's something to think about. As a human being, your soul has the opportunity to experience all emotions. And the soul's gift to the human being is to feel the joy and freedom of heaven on earth. And the exercise is, go into a park that has large, majestic trees which have stood the test of time. I am literally seeing you in the park doing this. Sit and contemplate the trees, feeling the pure current of nature, and allow it to wrap around you, travel through you, and uplift your spirit in an endless spiral of joy. Now, I do understand that it's getting cold over your way, but if you can, this will be really amazing. And give yourself over to this current, and you will be sublimed in true happiness, as it makes no requirements of you but to be in the moment. I don't know whether you do this, but I'm seeing you lying on a blanket under enormous trees, and you're just looking up, and you're looking through the branches, and you're feeling the energy of the roots underneath you, looking up, and your body just starts to hum with the frequency of nature. And it's kind of like, I've got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see, all the hairs are standing up, that it's a bit like the frequency is rearranging everything in you, and you feel clear and clean energetically when you do this. And that's the vision that I'm seeing for you. So if it's cold, parka up, and shoes and socks and whatever, beanie, but go and lie on the earth and look at the trees from that position. It's going to be really healing for you. Then we got the energy body, right? So that's the heavenly. And the energy body says an abundance of energy to live your life purpose. So I think that lying on the ground, on the roots basically of the big trees, is going to give you the energy to do what is calling your heart. So I hope that is helpful. So let's see. I have to be in control, and the activation is, I trust in the bigger picture and accept that I don't always have to see it fully before I take a step or make a choice. So here's what I've learned about not knowing the big picture. Humans are contrary creatures sometimes. And what happens is, if we get shown too much of the big picture, we go, yeah, no, I'm not doing that part. I'm not doing that. I want to do this. And so when we are being guided by the divine, by God, by source, we get shown a little bit, and then we have to walk in faith and take the action, and then we get shown a little bit more, and then we get shown a little bit more. And sometimes we don't know where we're being guided, but if we can walk in faith and trust that we are being guided, and when we want to control the outcome, that's when we can feel like, I'm doing what you're guiding me to, but you're trying to like hold it somehow. And I can tell you that if you are getting to the point where you go, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, that's when God says, oh, great, now can I guide you? And so if you feel like giving up, and that you feel like a failure, you feel like it doesn't matter what you do, it's not working out, and you want to literally give up and walk away and say, I'm absolutely done. That I call that the dark night of the soul, and that is when you celebrate. Absolutely celebrate that moment, because you know in your heart that the shift is happening, the breakthrough is coming, and everything will shift. Everything will shift. It's because you're giving up the control. Does that make sense? Yeah, the golden light. So I'm going to read that again. I trust in the bigger picture and accept that I don't always have to see it fully before I take a step or make a choice. It's an amazing card, isn't it? And it's a great lesson. So if you feel like giving up, do it for real. Like, be serious and go, you know what, I'm done. But you can't strategically do it. You can't know the process and go, okay, I'm done. It's prior to the mind. It's like, I've done everything that I can to make this work and it's not working. I'm just giving up. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to give up on this journey. And when I do give up for real, that's when the breakthrough happens and I go, oh, it's because I was trying to control the flow. And so I'm glad that was helpful. And that's why I love doing this, because I don't remember what I know unless I get a prompt. And so you guys are being very helpful by showing up. I'm using the Art of Self-Healing cards. Let's see. Okay. That one. I did this one last night too. It's like there's a energy in the world. Like there's 66 cards there. And this one we did last night. We did the car last night. Okay. So this one is strengths and weaknesses. I think this one is going to be really awesome for you. So, and this is going to be particularly about your job, because I know that you are looking for something new. So, when you go to work, make a note in a little notebook. You can color it green on the front and red on the back. And all of the tasks that you do in your day-to-day job, the ones where your energy is uplifted and you feel good about those tasks, write those tasks in the right hand, the green side. The tasks that drain your energy and make you feel weak energetically, write those in the red side of the book. And at the end of the week, after you've done your audit, you can see how much of your day-to-day job is in the red side and how much is in the green side. And if you're looking for a new job, find a job that has the green tasks. And that job is going to make you want to get up in the morning, make you want to go to work and enjoy the day and feel the buzz of completing the tasks that uplift and inspire you. Now, if the job that you're doing is mostly these ones, have a think about the things that you love to do that energize you and uplift and inspire you, and then look for a job that incorporates those tasks. Does that make sense? When I learned this, probably 20 years ago, it was a game changer, a life changer for me. And so the things, if you have a business, the things that deflate or weaken your energy, they're the ones that you outsource. The ones that uplift and inspire you and energize you, they're the ones that you do yourself. Like showing up, and that's going to make such a difference for you. And so for me, even though I had a headache today and I felt ordinary, coming and doing this, it fills me with light, it fills me with joy. So I will always show up. Regardless of how I feel physically, I will always show up because I know that I will feel better than when I started. So this is one of my green tasks, if that makes sense. I feel much better than when I started, as I knew I would. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.